Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Phoenix Wright Trilogy. So we're just gonna go into the trial right now, so we'll see how this is gonna play out. Because I'm interested to see how this is gonna go, because clearly our guy didn't do it, but somebody did. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Why was that so hard for me to say? The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Why was that so hard for me to say? Oh, not 5 minutes into the episode and already things are going off the rails. The prosecution will show the court that on 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Wait, I don't even get to make an opening statement? Is that normal? Very well, I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Okay, let's see how this goes. You were a terrible witness last time, so we'll see how this goes. Detective, if you could briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studio. The security lady that works at the studio was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there's a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear was found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder's weapon. Okay. Why am I bad at speaking this morning? That's the case, in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to that whole thing again? Well, I have to listen to it again for cross-examination. But I didn't really see any contradictions in there. That was pretty accurate, I would say. I think it's fine. I think I can probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval. Samurai spear added to the court records. This spear was found stuck in the chest of the victim. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Well, understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. This is going to go badly. Will the witness declare her name? My, aren't you a handsome fellow? Dodging the question. Guilty. I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie. No need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witness to say their names. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. So just call me getting the okay, this again. This is a running joke with this character, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I can't read any of what was just a... objection! I object to the witness talkativeness! Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the toastamony? Toastamony? What the hell am I saying? Why am I so bad this morning? Why am I so tongue-tied? Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yes, I was. And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you. You know your stuff, dearie. He's not amused. You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Witness's account. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. As you say, and as everybody has stated. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 p.m. when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5 p.m. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers. That man right there, and he was headed toward the studio. How do you even know, though? Saw the defendant, then. Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Let's see. I have an idea of what's screwy in this statement, but I'm going to go through the whole thing again just to make sure I know what I'm talking about. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Yeah. Poor old Hammer and the rest have been doing a run-through there since the morning. What kind of errands, though? What kind of errands? Oh, well, you know. No, I don't know. You weren't clear. Answer the question. Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers. Observing, you know. Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at guard station? Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job. I'm not sure your boss would see it that way. Yeah, staying there and gawking. Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs. Always. Never missed one in all my years. Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too. You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea. Okay. 1 p.m. But that's kind of interesting. I don't know. Hold it. So you saw Mr. Powers? That's what I said. Got wax in your ear, Sonny? Nick, this is your chance. Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon. I'll say it again. It was him. Presents. Are you sure you saw him? Because all I see is a guy in a costume. You can't exactly tell. There we go. Let me get this straight, old bag. Or Miss Old Bag. You've been saying that since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai defender of Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Old Bag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? No, they can't. Even Edgeworth is on board with me. That's how you know that this is some good evidence. Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai, yeah, in the photo. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. No one in this court is accusing you of that, witness. He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? Humph, nosy old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised? Yeah, Edgeworth is kind of on my side a little bit here, isn't he? The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time. I always used to know everyone would be so amazing. You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Let's hear about your proof then. Okay. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? So he had sprained his ankle. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Okay. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Are you absolutely sure? Let's take a look at that picture again. So he was walking strangely because he was injured. It does look like he was dragging his foot. See? And you didn't trust me, whippersnapper. Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained? Not as bad as not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch. Thus the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked. Dragging his foot. Okay. Which one of the props? He broke a prop? Sure did. His own samurai spear. His samurai spear? The murder weapon? Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it. This strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down in the court record. The murder weapon. A break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. Strange. Trip and fall? Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh! So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped to make it better for him, of course. You helped make it better? I guess it where it hurt. Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. You may continue your testimony. I'm trying to figure... Whippersnapper? Hey, I haven't said anything yet. I'll have you know, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow. The up and up. You today. Okay. And now we're... Mr. Wright, please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness. I think Edgeworth has met his match. I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me, which is, where is this Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. Suspicious. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes? She saw the Steel Samurai. And it's clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on the camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask twice. Okay. Witness account continued. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. So, if no one else went to the studio, then it would have been the Steel Samurai who did it. But who's the Steel Samurai character? Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine. Interesting. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? Are you absolutely sure? Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by me at all. Nobody suspicious looking. Right. Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. Edgy boy? Oh, poor Edgeworth. Oh, my God. Oh. Old Windbag sure is balls, or, well, you know what I mean. Fair enough. Old Windbags have a way of skipping over important details, after all. Or, for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? Well, I don't really... That's... Yeah, it's... Okay, but... How do you know that? Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about being a secret pal, he told me everything. I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officers' fondness for donuts. What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1 p.m.? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention... Strange. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have a whole lot of evidence to go on. That doesn't contradict. Yeah, somebody would have had to go through the... Someone would have had to go through the main gate area. But, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. Card key, that's... Strange. There's only... It's 2 p.m. It was 2 o'clock. Strange. He is dragging one leg, but the pants are way too long. If it was powers, he wouldn't be. I don't know. I don't think I have any information right now. Oh, how do you know? Are you absolutely sure? Oh, quite, Sonny. What about before you got to the guard station? Everyone was in the employee, so no one could get in, but if they had, I would have seen. Are you sure? I don't know what I'm doing here! Anyone going into the studio to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's still funny. Yeah, 2:30 p.m., but... I really have nothing. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for his studio, correct? Yes, sir, Sonny. So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture? And here I thought you didn't know your head for a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have had an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words, October 15th, 2 o'clock p.m., photo number 2. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 o'clock p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny. Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Photo number 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Strange. Order! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data from the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself. Eh? Me? You want to... Okay. What's your mouth, Snapper? The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. If you say so. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean. Can the witness explain this to the court, please? Ahem. I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help. But believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper? Something the matter, Miss Oldbag? Ah, that's right. I just remembered something. If you say so. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai? Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. A kid... Who went in? I see. Your testimony, please. Strange. The other person. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I had one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it. Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination. Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. Fair enough. Every day, after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. What do you mean by suspicious looking? How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part. For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag. Well, I didn't touch that suspicious-looking Will Powers photo, did I? I think she's missing the point. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Where's the photo? Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? Humph, a fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day. Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes to the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain. You are a terrible security guard, lady. I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers. Kids. So on the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? So we're looking for a kid? Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about in 2nd or 3rd grade. Oh yes. Well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him. A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Right. As I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick? What's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. Okay, so we're gonna go find this kid. October 18th, 11:08 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Mr. Powers? Yes? Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio. I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping. Honest. So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo? How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You should take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. Well, you're at least guilty of being a grade A jackass, I can tell you that. I don't think you did murder that guy, but I do believe somebody stole the costume while you were napping. And they murdered the guy. You're the only one who's you're the only likely suspect right now. Nick, what are we gonna do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could have conceivably have done this. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What does this mean? Please don't sigh like that. Okay. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studio was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there's still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts. The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let's hear what you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So who is the person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder? The assistant girl wouldn't have done it. The security lady? The security lady is the most likely culprit, considering how flippant she is about the whole thing. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in that picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There were only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper. Order. Is that true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you. Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she had no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up on an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? You're oddly silent. The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? He thinks she's guilty too. Oh, so you all think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something. What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way? Press further? The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy! The one whose photo I erased. He's only a grade schooler, though. As you said, 2nd or 3rd grade, was it? But that doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds, tops. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Oh, is it to... or is it to be nice to the kids and mean to your elders day? Whippersnapper. I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder? He was dragging his leg, but... Do I have proof? Your Honor, the murder weapon was the Steel Samurai spear. That very same spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The windbag, speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings for the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy. What was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this old bag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned. Okay. Wait a second. Oh, God. I'm not just going to sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me. I'm talking. Oh, great. Stop the presses. The Windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? But by whom? Huh, you mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. My lips were sealed. Okay. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studio the day of the murder. They said that they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studio that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Hold on. Okay. Global Studios... Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. Who? Who were these people? Well, the director and the producer, for starters. The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course. Very well. Yes, well, I was surprised no one talked about it. So, where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer at around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer. The Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Yeah, there's 2 studios, but one of them is blocked off by a tree because the statue blew over. Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Oh, the path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Okay. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I would love to. I think I've already asked all my questions, but... If you think you've got an idea... Your Honor, we have learned that there were others at Global Studio on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people who have been told off. I understand, Your Honor. You seem upset. Look at his eyes. His eyes are going. He sends today's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. Alright. Well, that's the end of... whatever. How long did that take? October 18th, 1:04 p.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Really, it's nothing. Grin. Oh, or should I... We'll be going down to the studios to do more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up the next trial as the witness for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So Nick, have we figured out just who it was in the Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Alright. To be continued. Alright. We're continuing onward at a brisk pace. Alright, I think I'm gonna leave it here. So, we have information. Now we know that we need to go investigate Studio 2 and see what's going on over there. Because we didn't really check out Studio 2. We only checked out the scene of the murder, Studio 1. So we definitely need to go investigate that further, and we're going to be doing that in the next episode because that's what the game is going to make me do, regardless of what I say. But I think I'm going to leave it here. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe and comment and all that good stuff. And also, be sure to check out my Facebook and on Twitter and in the description below, because I post updates and stuff over there. Also, I'm doing a new schedule, which I will be doing a tweet about very, very soon. So, yeah. And also, if you guys want to help support the channel, then be sure to check out my Patreon in the description below as well. It's only a couple bucks a month, and I appreciate it if you did that, because I do like to help make videos for you guys, and Patreon is the best way to do that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace! You've been controlling it from the top the whole time. Got you? No. We're going up.